So when you were talking about the fruit of
Yeah.
of being a Christian, being a believer, and I was thinking about that concept of okay, belief and then transformation. I was thinking about what took place with Trump posting that picture because I'm thinking about this, and I think there's a conversation to be had here around the decision to post a picture which seemed to depict him as Jesus.
I recoiled when I saw that. I was
Yeah,
like, ugh.
yeah. So I think the first thing for me to say is very clearly, uh, I don't agree with it at all. Not defending it at all. I think it's egregious, like to post something that could in any way look like you are depicting yourself as God. Um, and also, I don't believe that it was an accident. Like I saw I thought it was this. I'm like, I don't believe that.
There's no way he thought he looked like a doctor.
Yeah, no.
I never seen a doctor that dresses like
There's
that.
there's no way. So I think it was terrible, and I think it was really good at the same time. I think it was terrible because the decision that he made was just, what are you thinking? And in any way aligning yourself in such a way that makes it look like this is what you think. It's just dumb. And I think it was really good because as Christians, I think it gives us the opportunity, especially as somebody who would be a conservative Christian, which is what I would call myself, to really recognize like anytime we're putting our trust in a man, albeit the president of the United States, uh, on such a high level that we start to dismiss things that they do that are not biblical or not moral or whatever it is, we start to move into a gray area where our trust is put in somebody else. And I think these things happening, like it's unfortunate, and it just is like, it's just, I think, a headache for for anybody who would support Donald Trump as being a president or believing that he's there for a reason, which I do. I think that God has put him in that place for a reason. But our faith is in Jesus. Like that's it when it comes down to it. But I also was looking at it and I'm like, his decision to do that reminds me of what my life could look like if I say Jesus is Lord, but don't fully give myself to him. Because I think if you were to ask me, does Donald Trump believe in God? I would say absolutely. Does he appreciate the Christian faith? Absolutely. Does he believe that God saved him from that bullet whizzing by and clipping his ear? I really do think so. I don't think that's hyperbole. I don't think that was just political talk just to, give him some credibility with the Christian constituency, the Christian followers who may be voting later on. Can you say that word for me?
Constituents? Now you get me. See, influencer, right? Constituency.
Constituency.
Oh wow!
I
That'll
don't
be a
think.
blooper.
I don't think it
We'll
was.
edit that out or
Yeah.
keep it.
I don't think that was just pandering.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay, so that's what it looks like to have an awareness of God, but not actually entering into transformation, not actually giving yourself to God to be changed.
Do you think Donald Trump is saved?
I don't know. And that's the thing is I can't ever make that decision for anybody else, but you do want to see fruit. And when you don't see fruit, even if there is a verbal affirmation of something, and yet the fruit of it continues to be a different way, I would say you can love Jesus again and not give yourself to transformation. And I don't think that what we're seeing is an example of giving yourself to transformation. And I pray that that happens. But Christians and pastors who are so politically aligned that they will excuse anything and everything is dangerous. It ruins our credibility. It's not a good thing. But then at the same time, like I had friends sending me the picture in like a got you kind of way, like, hey, did you see what your boy did? Like, got you. And I'm like, no, because I am not so intertwined in any political belief that I will excuse the actions of a man. And he is just a man. But also I think it's so funny that people will come out of the woodworks for something like this because it's an easy W. It's like, well, this is so clearly offensive that I can now voice my concerns and I'm going to get everybody to agree with me. And I see that happening too. You have both sides where it's like, he can do no wrong. And I don't agree with him. And so anytime he missteps and everybody is going to agree with me, I'm going to come out and I'm going to condemn him because then it's going to give credibility to people who are following me because they know that I'm going to call them out. You know what I mean?
I saw it. I was like, why? I sent it to a buddy of mine. I was like, why? Because it reminded me too. He tweeted something about Easter or on Easter about, didn't he say like praise be to Allah or something? Do you remember that?
Well, I think that was him mocking.
Yeah, but still, it's like even to put those words out into a tweet on Easter.
Somebody needs to take away the cell phone. Like somebody needs to I
can't believe he has direct access. I'm involved in like local and state politics due to my family, and like there's like red tape and like checks and balances.
Yeah,
the president of the United States should not be able to just tweet off whatever he.
No,
wants,
he's his own worst enemy. But like it made me think about something else because so during 2020, I remember this happening, and I even made like a short Instagram thing about it. So the governor of New York State, Kathy Hochul, gets up and she goes to a church, so part of a church service, and she's given the platform. Why, I don't know. Like she's not a spiritual leader. Like there's no way that I think she should be given the platform. And she tells the congregants, I need you to become my disciples. And she's telling them, go out and tell everybody you need to get the vaccine. So she's standing up in a church telling them and I don't know if she used the word apostles or disciples. I think it was disciples. Accuracy matters on these things. So it was one of the two. And I remember being like, what? You just stood up in a church on a spiritual platform to say, I need you to be my disciples for something that had nothing to do with Christianity and was completely fear-based, regardless of how you feel about, any of the things that took place during COVID. I certainly have my own opinions. But regardless, nobody even bat an eyelash. Nobody said anything about it. It wasn't a big deal because the majority of people agreed in that moment. And so if everybody agrees with you, then it's easy to say something and we won't even make a big deal about it. But we hold, specifically, let's say it, President Trump to this higher standard because he's supported by Christians, and we hold him to this spiritual standard that I don't think is accurate. He is a politician. I think he has done a lot of good things for the church, a lot of good things for the nation. I think he's helped people, underprivileged people, that it doesn't get publicized very often. There's a lot of things that we could point to that are good. And then there's a lot of stupid things that he says, right? But ultimately, the policies are what matters and the decisions that are being made. And if we have disagreements on those things, whoever we are, right, then that's perfectly fine. But I just think it's these moments where it should bring clarity. It should bring contrast that saying you love God and having fruit in your life are two different things. And our faith has to be in Jesus, never in a man, never in a politician.
Hey, man, I think we just found a sub-podcast, mini-episode podcast after dark. So if you like this, like and subscribe, because maybe we'll have these little mini clips afterwards, a little post-show chat.
I'll always be honest. Like, these are not conversations we're having from the pulpit on a Sunday because I take that very seriously. I will talk about things, but I think this is a good platform to be able to have some of those conversations.
I love it. Sweet. Awesome. Till next time.
Cool.